Our next guest has been many times on the show. He is a prolific author of almost 20 books. His name is Stephen Knapp. We'd like to welcome you back to the show,
Hey,
Stephen.
Robert.
Yay!
Nice to be here.
So once again, you are back from India.
Yeah.
And your books are the philosophy of India and all about India.
Yeah, many of them are just focused on that, different aspects of the philosophy and the culture itself. So that's basically what I've developed as a niche as far as my writing goes.
And you become like a celebrity over there.
Well, I'm surprised how many people know about me, or, Indians in general, whether they're, in England or Europe or wherever, they're aware of the work I've done and what I'm doing. So I'll just keep doing it, since that seems to be, a niche that I wasn't even aware would open up after a while. I mean,
yeah.
I'd already started publishing and writing, and then this other niche just kind of opened up that I wasn't even prepared or even thinking about. And now I go to, like I said, I was just in India again in January, February, and to participate in some activities over there, some demonstrations actually, rallies and stuff, and as a guest speaker. So, and I wasn't even prepared to go. I'd already spent 5 months overseas last year.
Yeah.
So I figured this year I need to stay
in
home.
India.
Yeah, and focus on different projects and writing and that I wanted to do. And then this opportunity came up as well. So, and it was a cause I believed in.
Yeah.
So I thought, okay, let me do this.
Well, tell us a little bit about that. Now, you write about Vedic philosophy, Vedic culture, which is the ancient culture of India.
Right, yeah, and it's very popular. It's actually increasing in popularity here in America because there's so different many avenues. You also have not just yoga and meditation, but you also have vastu, arranging the house so the energy
like
flows, like feng shui. Then you have Ayurveda, which is taking care of the body so the energy flows through it properly.
Ayurveda is becoming absolutely huge.
Along with Jyotish, because they work together.
Yeah.
Jyotish, which is Vedic astrology, that also is there. Then you have, the Vedic style of martial arts and all these different things that people are starting to become more and more aware of. So it's becoming a more and more prominent area of interest in the Western countries.
Why do you think it can be a great contributor to our Western culture?
Well, because it brings out the ability to reach our highest potentials in every different way. Emotionally, intellectually, spiritually, of course. And it's all about, in many aspects, like Jyotish, Ayurveda, Vastu, it's all about making the arrangements around us to heighten our existence, heighten our, emotional, intellectual, mental potential to reach ultimately a spiritual goal. So many people are focused on that, interested in that, want to know how to do that, because it's all about how to decrease and minimize our problems in life and get the most out of life. So, who isn't interested in that?
Right. Now,
and it's basically a holistic methodology as well. So,
why do you think our Western culture is suffering in some degree that we don't have certain, psychological, spiritual aspects?
Well, I've often said that oftentimes it's the indigenous cultures which seem to have a closer relationship with nature, with God, and I think in many ways, as we move forward technologically, which is great, we also distance ourselves to some degree with that, from that connection with nature and God and our inner selves and stuff. And it's often that the indigenous cultures, the oldest cultures, the older traditions have a way to maintain that and have maintained that, so that if we get closer to that tradition again, we also reach that higher potential of who we are, what we're here for, how we got here, where we're going, what's our relationship with nature, how to work with nature as opposed to try to just simply control it all the time.
Yeah.
And like that. So people are looking for these things. And we can obviously see in this day and age with the global warming effect and the change of the weathers, or some people say it's a climate collapse, really.
Yeah.
People are questioning, well, where did this start? How can we get, back to their original ways of doing things so that we don't have these kind of problems? And oftentimes there's a curiosity to investigate these older traditions.
Sounds like one of the key words that you're talking about is living in harmony with the self, with each other, with the planet. It's we've really gone a long way from that.
Right, yeah, that's the whole idea.
Yeah.
So Vedic culture is, practically speaking, the oldest indigenous culture in the world, and it's still a living culture. It's not like the Egyptian culture or the Mayan culture or the Incan culture that's, all we have is these remnants of the culture that exist that we can investigate. But actually it's a living culture which still exists very well in India. Traditions that have gone on for thousands of years are still, alive and well, being followed, and also how we can incorporate those traditions, such as yoga, meditation, in today's busy lifestyle, and get more out of life. So naturally it has a key part that we can use in this existence.
One of my favorite books that you've written is The Heart of Hinduism. That really is I think one of the best summaries of what that ancient culture's got to offer.
Yeah, I've heard that from other people as well. I really like that book. That's not a simple book. Hopefully it's simply written in a simple way so that people can understand advanced philosophical concepts. But it's a deep book. There's a lot to that book, which is right here.
Yeah, I think we just showed it on the screen.
Okay.
And I think what people would be stunned to know is when you say the word Veda, it means knowledge. And not only are you covering all sorts of metaphysical, spiritual knowledge, but every kind of material knowledge is there in those Vedas.
Right.
And they're so ancient.
Right. That's one thing I present in the Heart of Hinduism is a chapter on the review of the Vedic literature, which goes from the ancient Rig Veda up to the more contemporary Samhitas and Puranas and commentaries, and you'd be surprised. There's so many different avenues that are incorporated in there. Martial arts, even agriculture, archaeology, cooking, all this stuff is, it's already been outlined and presented. It's all there. It's amazing.
So what would you say is the essence of what you're trying to present in these... you've done 20 books. That's pretty phenomenal.
Well, the essence, of course, is to understand yourself, understand your relationship with God, and how to work according to that relationship, get the most out of your life, how to decrease your problems, and understand what life is all about, and how to use different aspects of this Vedic knowledge in whatever way is best for you, whatever lessons you need to learn in this lifetime, whether it's Vedic prophecies, whether it's understanding, yoga, whether it's understanding, the karma or reincarnation or these different things that are now presently common words, but many people don't know the depth of what karma is.